Hello everyone, in this video let's discuss how to convert the given NFA into the DFA using the lazy evolution method. So if you consider the NFA to DFA direct conversion to this problem, it will be one step extra. So in that step we were having 4, here we will be having 5 steps. So how to do means, first you are converting the NFA into DFA. So you must write the NFA transition table first. NFA transition table. So we will represent NFA transition table DO. So DO will be represented the transition table of anything. It may be of DFA or of the NFA. Now if you see the input string that we have used here, small letter A is used and small letter B is used to move from one state to another state. So you can write A and B are my input strings. Now here you will be writing the states that are used in the NFA diagram. So that is Q0 and another one is Q1 and another is Q2. So if you see, Q0 is my initial state which will be represented using the arrow mark, and Q2 which is enclosed in the 2 circle will be called as the final state. So I will mark it as the star. Star means final state. Now see, Q0 using A, it is moving to Q0 itself. Using A, it is moving to Q0 itself. So write Q0. Q0 using B, it is moving to Q0 and it is also moving to Q1 also. So you can write like this, Q0 and Q1. Using B, Q0 is moving to Q0 also and Q1 also it is moving. Now Q1 is not using A to move to any other state. So you can write it as 5. So 5 represents the null. It is not moving to anywhere. Now Q1 using B, it is moving to Q2. So you write Q1. So you write Q2. Now Q2 is not using any of the input string. So that is, it is not moving to any other state. So you just write 5 and 5 which represent the null. There is no transition from one state to another. Now in the second step, using this NFA transition table, we will be writing the DFA transition table because we are converting now. So write the DFA transition table. So this will also be represented using the DO only, and here also we are using the input strings which were in the initial, that is in the NFA transition table. So what you will be doing here is, just copy the first row. Just copy the first row from the NFA transition table in the DFA transition table also. Now if you see, Q0 is my one state for which you have written the transitions. But if you see, Q0, Q1 is my new state for which you have not wrote the transition. So you will be writing the transition for the new state, that is Q0 and Q1. Now see, Q0 is here, Q1 is here. For A, it is moving to Q0 and 5. So you don't need to write 5, just write Q0. So 5 means null, no, you don't need to write it again. Now for B, they are moving to Q0, Q1 and Q2. So write all of them, Q0, Q1 and Q2. Now if you see, Q0 one state for which we have wrote the transition. Q0, Q1, Q2 is my another state for which we have not wrote the transition. So let's write it. Q0, Q1 and Q2 is my new state for which we want to write the transition. Now Q0, Q1, Q2. See all of them. For A, it is moving to Q0, 5 and 5. You don't need to write 5, just write Q0. Now for B, they are moving to Q0, Q1, Q2 and 5. Don't need to write 5, you just write Q0, Q1 and Q2. If you see, for Q0 also we wrote the transitions. For Q0, Q1, Q2 state also we wrote the transition. Now you stop the process here. Q0 is my initial state, and which is the final state? Which state is having Q2 in it? This is having Q2 in it, so it will be considered as the final state. Now the third step start. So what we will be doing is, you will be considering yourself as a lazy and you don't want to tell this big state. So what you will be giving? You will be giving the small name for it. So I will give Q0, Q1 as A, Q0, Q1, Q2 as B, and Q0 as C. You can give any alphabet for it. So what you will be doing, instead of Q0, Q1, you will be writing A here. Instead of Q0, Q1, Q2, you will be writing B. Instead of Q0, you will be writing C. Just copy here. So do, next A, B. Instead of Q0, you will be writing C. Instead of Q0, Q1, you will be writing A. Instead of Q0, Q1, Q2, you will be writing B. So this is star. This is the first initial state. Q0 means C. Q0, Q1 will be A. So this is C, B, C, B. So now using this one we will be drawing the DFA diagram. So at the fourth step, using this table we will be drawing the DFA diagram. So what are my states? C, A, B. So C is my one state, A is my another state, B is my another state. You can write B here also. So wherever you can write. Now C is my initial state and B is my final state. So if it is a final state, it must be enclosed within two circles. Now C, when you give A as an input, it is moving to C itself. That is self loop. When you give B as an input, it is moving to A. For A, when you give A as an input, it is moving to C. When you give B as an input, it is moving to B. For B, when you give A as an input, it is moving to C. When you give B as an input, it is moving to B. That is self loop. Now my DFA diagram is done. My final step is to represent this DFA diagram in the standardized format. So what is my standardized format for DFA? It will be M is equal to Q comma summation comma do comma Q0 comma F. So you can represent using any alphabet. So what is Q? Q is the states that I have used in my DFA diagram. So C, A, B are my states. C comma A comma B. Next, summation represents what are my input strings that I have used in the DFA diagram for the transition from one state to another. So small letter A and small letter B. Next, do represents the DFA transition table which we wrote in the second step only. No need to write it again. Now Q0. Q0 represents the initial state. So which is the initial state? Capital letter C. F represents the final state. Which is the final state? Capital letter B. So this completes the conversion of NFA to DFA problem using the lazy evolution method. So what we did here in the third step, we were lazy enough that we assigned a name for it, that is small name for it, and converted them to the small names, and then we wrote the DFA diagram, and then we wrote the standardized format. So hope you understood how to convert the NFA to DFA using the lazy evolution method. If you have any doubt, please comment below. If you liked the video, please subscribe and support us. Thank you.